Rising sun and Fish and Wildlife Service logo. Birds nesting on Breton Island. Restoring Breton Island, building back better. Todd Baker, Project Manager, LA Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority.
Coastal Louisiana is one of the most important states in the country for colonial nesting water birds. Breton Island is no different.
Sandy Beach. Barrett Fortier, Senior Wildlife Biologist, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Breton is extremely important to hundreds of thousands of nesting birds every year. And if that island's not there, then these birds have nowhere to go.
North Breton Island, pre-restoration. Darren Lee, Coastal Resource Scientist, LA Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority.
So barrier islands are part of the erosional part of a deltaic cycle. So the river builds out and then it switches and makes a new route to the Gulf, and during that process sands are moved up and barrier islands are formed. And of course they're important because they provide these unique habitats along our coastline, and then they also serve as sort of this storm buffer for storm energies that come in and wave energies. And then on a daily basis, they even provide the important function of basically creating this stiller sound estuary, and they define the line between the open Gulf conditions and the estuary conditions. And so all of these functions are extremely important in this ecosystem to provide all the ecosystem services that these habitats provide.
Luke Anthus, Project Manager, USFWS, Gulf Restoration Office.
The BP oil spill killed approximately 27,000 brown pelicans across the Gulf of Mexico. Breton Island serves as nesting habitat. It not only provides nesting habitat for this local region, but it helps for the entire brown pelican population.
Deborah McLean, Deputy Assistant Regional Director, USFWS, Gulf Restoration Office.
Fish and Wildlife Service has the responsibility for management and oversight of many trust resources, including birds. There was damage done to Breton Island from the 2010 oil spill. Breton also had received some damage from a 2005 oil spill. We were able to put both settlements together to make it a bigger, better project to restore vital nesting habitat for brown pelicans and other bird species.
So Breton has that crescent shape on the north end, and that's where the mangrove forest is located and where we're going to expand it. On the Gulf side, that is where we are going to be doing dune restoration by planting dune grasses. And then on the land side, or the interior side, that is where we're going to be doing marsh restoration through the planting of marsh grasses like smooth cordgrass.
North Breton Island before restoration. Restoration project components. Key: fill extent, beach, mangrove wetland, dune, marsh. A restored Breton Island will not only provide benefits to birds, but it will also provide coastal resilience to sea level rise, including protection from increasing storm surge and wave impacts. Leo Miranda Castro, Regional Director, USFWS, South Atlantic Gulf and Mississippi Basin regions. Sand pipeline. Jimmy Laurent, Refuge Manager, Breton Wildlife Refuge, USFWS.
So the sand is being pumped from approximately 3 miles out from the island. What's important to know is that we're not just pumping the sand onto the island, it's being strategically placed to mimic the system from roughly 100 years ago. And the reason for that is obviously that system was very resilient to coastal storms and all the other impacts from that time frame. To be a part of this historic effort feels really good. This ties directly back to the mission of the Fish and Wildlife Service, which is conserving our nation's fish, wildlife, and plant species and their habitats for the continuing benefit of the American people.
Special thanks to these restoration partners: Louisiana Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, Louisiana Oil Spill Coordinator's Office, Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, Louisiana Department of Natural Resources, the Nature Conservancy, National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, U.S. Geological Survey. Rising Sun and Fish and Wildlife Service logo.